entertainment, current events, and Hollywood. Don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Leia, as in Princess Leia. That's the easiest way to make it all click.
I love it. I love it. Welcome to the show. I love going back to the beginning. I always say, the beginning charts our trajectory in life, our little habits we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. So tell me a little bit about, um, you know, your childhood. What was that like growing up, and when did you kind of find your way into music?
Well, I grew up in a pretty we were kind of like poor actually. So all we had was music
Mm,
to keep us going, and we had a lot of hand-me-downs back then. It was fine because that's the kind of life that we had. So we knew nothing better. So we had this like fantastic, for us, it was this fantastic uh, cartridge player, the four-track cartridge player
hmm
that was almost, it was a dinosaur. It was almost extinct, and it came with this huge cartridge that looks like, I don't know, it looks like huge discs, huge VHS kind of stuff. You
Mm,
put it in, and it came with like maybe two or three, and then a couple of friends gave us a few more. But I grew up with a lot of rock and blues
nice.
because my dad loved blues, and well, we didn't have much going on except for the games we played outside and the music that we played inside the home. And that kind of instilled in me a love for music and the different genres because we also had radio, the local radio stations that played all the popular music. But it surprisingly, even though being brought up in a family where everyone loved music and we all sang or performed among family members, I
hmm
never wanted to be a part of the music industry or even pursue anything to do with music because I think I associated it a lot with it being from a difficult part of my childhood. Yeah,
I see. Wow.
yeah. Hmm.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you kept at it because I loved the single.
Oh, you
So
do? Okay.
yeah, so like it's so raw. It's so
Yeah,
it feels very cinematic, right?
yeah.
What scenes play in your mind when you hear it, that song, your song?
I think when I write, it's a very cathartic process. I write because I need to say a lot of things that I keep buried. It's not in my nature to bury a lot of things, but I think the generally speaking, the the kind of upbringing I had and the fact that we are Asian,
hmm
we don't really speak about a lot of things that we go through. We don't
mm
share this kind of experiences. So um, this single actually follows up from my previous album, which I wrote all the songs for.
Nice.
And that album had a lot to do with me facing all the demons that came with the death of my brother, which I kept buried for a long, long time.
Mm.
And because he was actually murdered in his own home.
Oh no, I'm so
Um,
sorry.
yeah, no. So yeah, but you can't you kind of like you have to pick up the pieces and just continue. Life doesn't wait for you. You just have to keep going. But as you keep going, you keep more things buried. So
Mm.
I found that I needed to say a lot of things. And that album was a lot about me getting it all out. And Raging Halls is about me
Mm.
finally finding my way out. I mean, I've already found, it's like at the end of the other album, I had found my way out.
hmm
I had written it in such a way. And this song was now, what do you do
Mm.
after that? So this is a kind of a rebirth
I
and
love
taking
that.
back my life, taking back whatever I've put buried, kept buried for a long time, like taking
Wow.
it all back and just putting it behind me and like stepping out into the sunlight, so to speak.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. Wow,
yeah,
that's beautiful. And I mean that's so awesome to hear because, I think it's so relatable. Last year for myself was a very hard time, and it was really hard to. I didn't know how to get my way out or find my way out, and then finally, I guess it's a process. Like you said. So,
yes, it
thank you.
is.
Yeah. Uh,
It's a difficult, but it's really wonderful when you finally step out of that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
I love that. Your music blends rock, jazz, blues, orchestral sounds. How do
Mhm.
you know, when a song has found its identity?
Hey, I think a lot of it is my art. I'm a visual artist also. So
Nice.
I think my art and my music work in tandem. What I cannot say through my with my paintbrushes and my canvases, I try to do it with music. I find
Mm,
it easier to do with music because people can actually listen to it.
hmm
The words, you can actually understand like a word, love or happiness or hate or whatever word, there's a meaning to it. You can associate it with something.
hmm
Colors on a canvas is a little bit harder to do. um it's so subjective, work, artwork. You People come and they look at it and then they walk away with totally different things.
mm,
Whereas I think with lyrics, there's a little bit more you can say. So what I do is
Are you passionate about film and in depth conversation? Look no further. MVB Films Productions now offers exclusive access to unedited, unfiltered interviews and film content through our Patreon. Join for just $5 per month and unlock candid commentary, behind the scenes footage, and projects you won't find anywhere else. Hosted by Meosha Bean of Creator to Creators, this membership gives you a front row seat to the creative process. Become a member today. Patreon.com, Meosha Bean Official.
I walk into the studio, so to speak, s- just talking to my producer in Nashville, and I tell him this is what I want to do.
hmm
And I try to give him some kind of references with the kind of sound that I would like to work with. And I do not go in with a plan because um, I think when you go in with a plan, it becomes very rigid, so to speak. It's just like my artwork. I have this idea in my head. I sit in front of a canvas and I'll be going like, okay, I'm going to do this and that and stuff like that. But when it doesn't turn out that way, I get very, very angry with myself
hmm
because I think I'm not good enough.
mm
So I have learned over the years to, all right, so you're going to let yourself paint something that you have an idea of, but you're not going to put it down in, yeah, you're not going to insist how it should turn out. So a
mm
lot of my music is like that,
Nice.
it is like that. So I there is the identity is a part of the process.
Yeah.
Who I am is in my voice. I think the song, the my voice is the identity of the song. I think
Beautiful.
so. I would like to hope so, you know.
That's
And
awesome.
it's a difficult question because I myself have no answers for it.
I love it.
Today, I will listen to the song today. I tell myself I could have done that. I should have done that. I'll write my producer and I say, we could have done a lot of stuff. And he says, nobody likes what they do.
It's
So
true.
just okay, yeah, okay. So I try not to. I just don't like listening to myself.
Well, you have a wonderful voice, wonderful gift.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
you described your music like painting. What colors would you describe this single?
Oh, everything from yellow ochre to cerulean blue to a little bit of shades of gray and black, a little bit of vermilion to bring out the the emotions, but basically on the darker side of the palette. Yeah, that's
Mm,
right.
nice.
Mm.
Nice.
Burnt sienna, raw sienna, those colors.
I love it. Even in darker songs,
Hmm.
you leave
Hmm.
listeners with hope. Why is that
Yeah.
so important to you?
Because if I don't think there's hope, I would have given up a long time ago.
Mm,
Um, I can walk into a room and I can just absorb everything that is in that the second I walk in. It
mm.
is, I mean, my partner calls it a curse. I call it like, wow, you know, because I walk into the room and everybody is like so positive about everything and anything and anything, I'll walk out of the room just as positive and excited about everything. But if it's all negative, I think I kind of like I will roll down the hill and get myself buried in some big hole, that sort of thing. So yeah.
Mm,
So I always look for hope. There's always a way out. There's always a step forward. You take
yeah.
one step forward and you look for the silver lining because this is not the end. I
Hmm.
always tell myself. I mean, I've been through a lot of crap in my life, so I
Hmm.
always tell myself, um, there's always something around the corner.
Yes, I
Something.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. That's literally my
Yeah.
mantra.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's there's nothing wrong with living in expectation.
No, there is nothing wrong living with expectation. I think my experiences have been the opposite. With expectation,
Hmm.
with expectations came a lot of disappointments for me. That's just me.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I've learned not to expect too much. I've just learned to work today.
Yeah.
And if today brings me till tomorrow, then
Yeah.
I'll work harder tomorrow. And that's how I look at things. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Mm.
Do you feel as an artist and a creative that the music industry is changing for the better? Nowadays we have, AI, we essentially can do a lot more things ourselves versus years ago when, you had to, get things on a record. It wasn't streaming. Do you think things are getting better for artistry and artists today?
I think there's a lot of pros and cons. I think that it's getting better for the independent artists because there's so many ways that they can be heard as opposed to before when you have to be signed to a record label and then you would never be able to see the light of day.
Mm,
If you were an independent artist, your music be buried. But at the same time, I think there's an oversaturation of a lot of music out there.
mm-hmm,
There's too much of it out there, and a lot of the good ones get buried because there are a lot of, and these not my words. I mean, these are things like we independents speak about honestly.
mm-hmm.
There's a lot of bad music out there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
There's a lot of great music out there.
Uh-huh.
But how do you find the great music with all that, that's being released continuously every day?
Yeah.
I don't know how many millions of tracks are being. So in that sense, I think we are oversaturated. And I think
Hmm.
the way people consume music nowadays is so different from before. Those days you go
Yeah.
to a record store, you buy a record, and then you sit
Yeah.
down, you sit down, you listen and listen to the lyrics, and you get into it, and then you play it over and over and over again. But
Yeah.
this time it's like if I can't get through the first 2, 3 seconds of the song, I'm going to flip and go to the next song, go to the
Yeah.
next song, go to the next song.
Yeah.
So it's like nobody wants to um nobody has the time
Mm.
to want to even try. I
Hmm.
feel
Hmm.
if you don't capture their attention the first few days, it's just not going to go. So
That's kind of scary
yeah.
though, right?
I think it's very scary, but and I think it's across the board. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not just about music. It's about a lot of other stuff too. I mean,
Hmm.
I teach music to kids. I'm also a vocal teacher, so I
Nice.
teach music to kids, and it's so hard for them to just concentrate because they
Mm.
are like their mind is working at a different speed altogether, and they've got this a lot of stuff that they want to try, they want to do, they want to listen to this, they want to listen to that. And it's not just about being a kid, because I was a kid and I know how it is. But
Hmm.
I was a kid who sat down and listened. If they played Elvis Presley, I mean back then, because Malacca was a little bit back. I mean, with music, a lot of oldies. We liked a
Hmm.
lot of oldies. So if they played Elvis on the radio, or they played whoever on the radio, we'll sit down and listen, even though it wasn't the kind of music we liked.
Hmm.
But we'll listen to it. But these days, you don't get them to wanting to do that. It's just like, oh, no, no, no.
Do you blame social
What's the?
media?
I think social media plays a huge, yeah. Social media has its plus points, but I think recently I see that it's actually it's kind of derailing everything.
Yeah.
We have to use it's a necessary evil, but at the
Yeah.
same time, at the same time, you know what it's doing to you.
Hmm.
That's what it's such a difficult such a difficult relationship I have with social media. I need it,
Yeah.
but I don't like it.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree. It's a necessary evil. I like that. I like how you put it. Um,
Yeah.
um, and I just hope that, I mean, I guess with the times and well, with AI and all that, it's just got a little scary, but that's also great too in some ways when it's done right. But now AI can make a song that is completely like it's
I don't
insane. It's like,
I,
whoa.
don't- I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that. I'm like
Okay,
so,
okay, okay, okay.
whenever I hear something like that, I get so because I spend such a lot of time trying to
Yeah,
get my voice right, my this right, my that right. Everything needs
yeah.
to be right. And we are never right because I think artistry and imperfection
Hmm.
work
Yeah.
hand in hand. That's
Hmm.
where the beauty lies. I think there's a lot of um
Some stories are painful to tell. Some truths were buried in silence for years. But healing begins when people finally speak. Church Hurt. Season 2 is now in production, and we are searching for brave individuals who are willing to share their real stories of spiritual abuse, manipulation, trauma, control, betrayal, and survival inside the church. Our goal is not to attack faith, but to bring truth into the light and help others who may still be suffering in silence. If you have a story to share and would like to be considered for Season 2, please email us directly. All contact information is located in the description box below, and our team will get in touch with you. The only way we can stop the lies, corruption, and abuse of power in our world is by speaking out. Your voice could help someone else heal. We are also currently raising funds through our GoFundMe campaign to help bring Church Hurt Season 2 to more streaming platforms worldwide. Every donation helps us continue production, editing, licensing, marketing, and expanding the reach of these important stories. Season 2 features some of the darkest but most powerful true stories, yet from brave survivors who chose to break their silence. If you watched Season 1, thank you for the support. If you haven't yet, head over to your favorite streaming platform and search Church Hurt by Meosha Bean. Watch and stream today. Church Hurt Season 2, coming in 2026.
art isn't perfect,
Hmm.
okay? In any form, all
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But there comes all this AI where everything is perfect. I mean, I'm not against AI. I think
Yeah.
AI is brilliant. But it needs to be, we really need to use it responsibly.
Hmm.
Otherwise it becomes, I mean, it takes over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an authority on the topic. I admit it. I've used AI
Hmm.
because it's like, you generate a video that you animate a video. It's so
Hmm.
nice to see how it turns out. But at the same time, I mean, I know why I use it, but it doesn't consume me. It doesn't consume
Yeah.
my,
Yeah. I
whatever. But
completely agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. Use it
no, but
responsibly.
I'm not against it because I'll say this is though. I've got a video that's coming out for this song. Now, the way I've painted the whole thing in my head,
Uh-huh.
nothing could have done it except an AI.
Yeah.
You see? So I worked with this computer guy. I mean, I worked this guy who we spent such a long time. I worked out the prompts, I worked out everything, I worked out this. I don't know what prompts are. I don't know whether it's prompts, but what I did, I worked out the whole script, I worked out everything with him, and we worked so hard to get it right.
Yeah.
But like it's not something you can generate in 5 minutes because it took such a long time to get even a part of it done. So I guess it's something akin to what you do in the studios,
Yeah.
where you need a human to kind of work it out for you. But at the same time, it's kind of AI because it is
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. So I see. I'm not against AI. I just think it needs to be used responsibly.
Right. I love that. I love that. I was going to ask you, like, you hear like artists when they're performing, like the greats, like your Michael Jacksons, your Elvis Presleys, your,
Mm,
I don't know,
mhm,
Whitney Houston's. They just get on stage and they kind of lose themselves in the
mhm.
music, or they go to some place.
Yeah.
Your live performances are very expressive physically,
Mhm.
right? What do you feel when you're on stage?
Oh, I'm totally a different person on stage. You wouldn't guess who that was on stage. I've always surprised people because I'm like this ball of energy and
Yeah.
anger and
Yeah.
a lot of yeah, I'm like this energy that you can't stem. And it's not about jumping around the stage and doing all sorts of stuff. It's not about that. It's like you can feel the intensity when I'm on
Yeah.
stage. And people have told me, "Ah, you look very, very angry." But I'm not angry.
Yeah.
I live in that microsecond of
Yeah.
that part of that song. It is so consuming that it becomes you cannot see anything else.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I can be unwell. I can be complaining about all sorts of problems before I get on stage. The minute I get on stage, everything just flows.
Wow. That's
And it's not
amazing.
the adrenaline. It's not the adrenaline so much because adrenaline does that to you. It makes you forget everything. It's like
Hmm.
a switch that goes on in my head and it says, now it's Lyia who's
Yeah.
performing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I do. I cannot compare to the greats though. The greats are the greats. Oh my God. I just wonder how Michael did it.
I don't know.
I mean, that guy is like, I was just watching his video the other day. I said, you're never gonna find. Thank goodness he came out at a time. If he wasn't out now, he won't be able to make it.
Yeah, I know, right? Just
No, he can't. He can't. It's not about
yeah.
artistry anymore. It's about a lot of other things that come into play.
It's so true. That's so
Yeah,
crazy to think about. Yeah, it's not about artistry anymore. We've definitely got away from that, and
yeah.
it's a whole bunch of factors because you have influencers that that are getting
Yep,
numbers like music
yep, yep, yep,
artists.
yep. So before I try not to think too much about that because then it becomes. Then you ask yourself, why are you in the industry to begin with? But then I have to remind myself it's all about the art and I've got something to say. As long as I need to say it,
Yes.
I'll be here.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's important as long as you have something to say. And I think that's what's withstands the test of time. I think
Yeah, it does.
the flyby things, the really cool songs that are hot for, a minute and then they go away. No one really remembers
Mm.
them. I mean, we remember,
Yep.
you know, the greats, it's because they were
Yep.
something so important. So yeah, I think what you're doing is absolutely important because someone is going to keep resonate with that and it's going to linger with them for the rest of their lives. And I think that's the important thing.
I I hope so.
Absolutely.
I
Um,
hope so.
I love asking this question, and I promise you there's
Hmm.
no wrong answer. Um, the
Okay.
three levels of influence: money,
Hmm.
power, and respect. If you could choose only one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
Respect.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice.
I know money can buy respect, but I think you can be poor and still have respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Just the
love
shirt
that.
on your back and respect.
I
No,
love
it's the
that.
truth. Yeah.
I love it. I think I think that's a great answer. I think they're all great. I don't think
Yeah,
they
they're all
will
great. Yeah,
all, yeah,
it all
answer.
depends on it. It depends on where you are in your life. I think, for me, respect has always been very important. As independent artists, let's put it plainly.
Yeah.
Let's put it clearly. You don't make money at all. There's no money in it.
Mm.
Okay. There's no money in it unless, okay, I perform really good gigs and really good huge shows and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But
Mhm.
album sales, you can definitely sweep it under the carpet. It's never going to happen.
Mm.
But um, that's just me being honest, right?
Yeah, no, thank you for being honest. Yeah.
But that but um respect is something you can have to the day you die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's interesting you said that because I completely agree. I was watching some interview. I think it was
Mhm.
I think it was either Missy Elliott. Yeah, she was talking about
Mhm.
how there isn't any money even for people that are part of big labels when it comes to album sales. Like no one's really buying albums. So you have to do tours. You have to tour. That's where you
Yep.
make your most money. And I think I see a big influx of people going on tour. Like you have your Chris Brown's going on tour with Usher this year. I mean,
Mhm.
there's just like Taylor Swift stays on tour, you know. I mean, it's
No,
a
I
few
think we need
people.
to have that.
Yeah.
Those are really big names, though.
Yeah.
But we need to have people to go on tour. We need the artistry out there. You know, we cannot have we won't be having any AI. We never know though. But you know, but we won't be having, at least in the near future, any AI standing on stage performing.
I hope not. I don't
Can
know.
you imagine that? I don't know what I'll say, what I'll do. But I was watching the other day something on it on Discovery or something, and they were having Maria Callas,
Uh-huh.
I think Maria Callas on in your living room.
Huh.
Yes,
Interesting.
and you don't have to go and see Maria Callas perform. You don't have to go and see any of your favorite bands alive or dead
Wow.
at all. They will come to your home in your living room live.
Wow.
So if they are there, and this was like maybe 2 years ago, if they are there, I won't put it past them putting an AI on stage.
Yeah.
Somehow, you'll have these huge LCD screens, and then you'll have this something of whatever performing, and you have all these really human dancers dancing something, whatever, and people will still go
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's the era that was the time they were born in. It's
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
so we all be phased out.
Yeah. That would be an interesting day to see. I mean, we're definitely
Uh,
moving into a direction that I don't really know where we're going, honestly. But I just hope it gets better, you know?
uh, yes, yeah, I hope so too.
What keeps you going, as an artist, in the days that are kind of rougher than others, and I'm sure there's ebbs and flows in this journey.
Mhm.
What keeps you motivated?
Ah, Actually, I have to motivate myself. What keeps me motivated is just, I don't know. It's a very difficult question to answer because I don't think about what keeps me motivated. I just motivate myself. I tell myself, okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to, if things get really bad, you hit the valleys instead of the hills,
Hmm.
and you tell yourself, "Okay, things are." I mean, I get very, very emotional a lot of times because
Mm,
I think that is basically part of it is basically how an artist is wired. They get emotional,
yeah.
they have the extremes and stuff like that. But I always motivate myself because if I cannot do this, I will do that. If I
Hmm.
cannot do that, I'll do this. So like now, I'm working on my third book. So I finished the book. Then
All
okay, I
right.
finished the book, and then it becomes okay, I've done the book already. Now what? Okay, now
Yeah. Yeah.
let's just do the next song that we are working on. And then if that I get a kind of like hit a wall with that, so then I paint. I do painting or something. I do a lot of things to keep myself going artistically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Um, you know, I, 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 I think being an artist is one of the most hardest roads you can ever take, but also the most rewarding, right? Um, because it's like, you have something that's out there forever and you leave with people to, somebody will pick it up at some point and they're
Yeah.
like, oh man, that's kind of cool.
Footprints in the sand.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but when I was doing my jazz albums about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2021, when I was speaking to my collaborator, then I said, you know, I want to do something that, if somebody down the line, maybe my great grandson or whoever,
Hmm.
he will listen to it and say, oh, wow, it sounds, it's like, timeless. You can still relate to it. There's some music you cannot listen to today that was released 20 years ago. It's like, oh no, no, I'm not going there. But there's some music that you can listen to that was released 50 years ago that is still relevant today, even though it sounds like it came from the 50s or the 60s, but it's still, you can still listen to it
Yeah.
because it's timeless. The oldie but goldie doesn't sound nice when you say it that way, but it is the truth. Yeah.
I love that. If you could perform with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I'm so old school. I would like to B.B. King,
Ah,
Hendrix, Clapton, those kind of people. Because I
nice.
grew up, I grew up with all those kind of greats. There was that Thomas Clayton. I think Thomas Clayton.
Nice.
Uh, Blood, Sweat and Tears. I love that fellow so
Yeah.
much. I just can listen to a lot of music on and on. So if I get a chance, I like to perform with greats. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm.
What
I cannot
advice?
perform with
Right.
any of the very great vocalists because they are like having like seven or five octave, and here I am coming. Oh, I'm a contralto with oh, I don't know where I'm going to fit.
Oh my God. Um, what advice would you give to that that young boy or that young girl or just anyone who's trying to find their way and trying to get into the music world?
No rush. You will find your voice in due time. In time, you'll always find your voice. Everybody finds their voice. Don't rush it. There are no shortcuts. I know that everybody wants to get there fast, so no shortcuts in life. I've always supported the underdog. I mean, this is not the advice I would give them, but just me as I am. I've
Hmm.
always supported the underdog. I'm always for the person who works so damn hard, but they cannot
Hmm.
get anywhere because of circumstances of the way or the way fate unfolds for them.
Hmm.
But if I was giving advice to someone or my student, I'll always tell them, don't rush the process.
Hmm.
Um, Find and create a great foundation for yourself because that's what you're going to fall back on when things get really hard.
Yeah.
No, no excesses. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. I mean, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do any excesses at all,
That's
except
good.
for except for chocolate. The rest I don't. I don't because I treat it as a day job. I mean, if you go to an office, you won't do all that. So
Right.
for me, I treat this as a job, in
Hmm.
the sense like it's my lifeline. So if it's my lifeline, why should I pollute it with all the things that would finally derail you? Because there will be a point in your life that you will need that to keep you going.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
people take all the excesses, they drink a little, and then today it's a glass, tomorrow it's two glasses, and it keeps going on and on. And then
Hmm.
finally, I've seen so many of my good friends lose their voices because um, they felt they needed to play the role of being a singer, musician, and an artist and stuff like that, and do all the parties and the
Yeah.
drinking and the drugs. I
Yeah.
mean, then it's okay, but there's always a payback one day.
Yeah, it is. That's so true. So true.
Yeah.
Thank you for that advice. It's great advice. Where can people find you on social media to follow everything you got going on?
Okay, you can find me anywhere um under Lyia Meta. That's Lyia Meta. Zuckerberg stole my name, so Meta.
I love it. I love
Well,
it.
When he changed it to Meta, I had a lot of messages on my messenger that said, "What are you gonna do? You should sue him." I said, "Oh, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. You can find me at Lyia, Lyia Meta, LyyiaMeta.com or Lyia Meta across every single social media platform.
Awesome. Awesome. It
Yeah.
was a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.